Good evening, guys. This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa, a channel, a platform, and a modality where we apply the principles of interiorism to rapid lifestyle transformation, to getting off the prison grid, to generating great wealth, to becoming rich, guys. Because yes, you have to be rich in order to enjoy the abundant life that you came to live. As Jesus said in the Christian scriptures, I came to give you life and to give it to you more abundantly. You're here for abundance. You're here to live out your mission. And you're here to create the creations that you came to create. And you can only do that by being wealthy. That's why a big part of rapid lifestyle transformation is getting wealthy. It's where the conversation is going. Whether it be with my coaching clients, and by the way, it's a modality that's taking off. It's a modality that I'd recommend, and I will put my email in the description. I can help you step by step to apply interiorism to your life for results in the real world. And it's also where the conversation is going across our social media platforms, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, and our main vehicle of delivery, where I can make longer form videos and talk to more people, YouTube. And I'm getting asked for more concrete steps, and that's what we're going to be starting to do more of here on the channel, giving concrete steps as to how you can apply interiorism to your daily life. We've gone over the philosophy of interiorism. I'd like to go more over the science of interiorism, and we will do that abundantly in other videos. But I want to start giving you that roadmap of concrete expression of how you can use interiorism, which is living knowing that everything that happens is within you, to your outside life. Because if this didn't apply to your actual daily life, as William James said, then it would have no veracity. Like Eckhart Tolle said, if this stuff didn't make your life better, it wouldn't be worth it. And what I want to try to do in this video is to address the full spectrum of our subscribers, which, by the way, guys, just about 2 hours ago, we surpassed 400 subscribers. I'm very happy about that. We've done it organically. We've done it with almost no technical know-how and no marketing, and that's the way I like it, because it's simply by dialoguing and it's simply by word of mouth that we're able to share this information. I think it's information that's worthy of being shared with many more people. And so we've gotten to 400. We want to thank you. I want to invite you, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel, because you'll be joining a community of master manifestors. You'll be informed whenever I release a video, which is at least a few times a week, which is going to be tackling all of the issues of this philosophy of interiorism and how to apply it to your life. And you'll be helping me get the word out, guys. The projection is that within the next month to month and a half, we can get to 500 subscribers. After that, it's going to snowball to 1,000. And once we get to 1,000, that's another key step to getting the algorithm in our favor and being able to share this information with the world. It's very urgent that the world hears this information now. It is a modality whose time has come. But as I was saying, I want in these videos to address all of my subscribers, no matter what your walk of life. Because if there's one thing that interiorism shows us, it shows us that no matter what your situation is, you can get to the situation that you want to get to. It is all possible, because we live in a universe of infinite possibilities. But I have to talk to people, guys, who have no savings and are in fact in debt and have very small incomes. Let's say someone has an income of $1,000 a month or less. This information is still going to help them. It's still going to get them off the prison grid in record time. This, by extrapolation, this video can also apply to people who make $1 million a year. You just have to multiply the numbers, add more zeros to the numbers, and you're there, guys. It doesn't matter where you are. All that matters is the image that you hold in your mind and the state that you're adjusting to. Now, in past videos, I've drawn a lot upon the works of Vadim Zeland, Reality Transurfing. Excuse me. While that book leaves a lot to be desired in some of its explanations, I found no model better to teach this material, guys, because the basic concepts of the book are very sound, and it jives with law of assumption, law of attraction, and interiorism. It teaches that the universe, as we know from physics, is an agglomeration of an infinite number of possibilities, guys. And all of these possibilities are basically chains of cause and effect, chains of determinism once you get on the chain. Of course, the determinism ends from outside the chain because you can always get on another chain. But once you're on the chain, it's deterministic. And Zeland gives the great analogy of film rolls. So imagine the universe as a multitude, in fact, of infinite film rolls. And we know that how these old film rolls work back in the day, and you can still see it in some movie theaters, where the film roll is still, and it's a roll of scenes, and it's animated when it's put into that projector, and it rolls and then it becomes animated. Well, there's an infinity of film rolls in the universe, and whenever you want to get onto a film roll, all you have to do is put the light of your attention on it, and it's as if you're that projector, and then the film roll starts moving. Of course, where we are is a film roll, and where we want to get to is another film roll, and you get there by focus. Here's the main thesis of this video and the other videos that we're going to be releasing, talking about the first steps on this pathway, guys, to getting rich, to becoming free of the prison grid. This video is going to be your first step to getting rich, and it doesn't matter where you are. I don't care what your situation is. You can all do this. We're going to be using a very specific tool to do this, so get ready to start writing, and of course I'm going to post the links in the description. But if you're on a film roll, the thing that's holding you to that film roll is your attention to it. If you're resisting the film roll that you're on, you're just giving attention to it, and therefore you're being magnetically still pulled onto that film roll. It's like glue. The way to get off a film roll is to release your attention from that film roll. What we teach in interiorism and on this channel is a process called smoothing out the film roll. You see, within every film roll is a band of possibilities. And you're limited within that band of possibilities on the film roll. For example, if you want to make $1 million a year, but you're on a film roll in which you're only making $20,000 a year, there's nothing that you can really do to start making $1 million a year on that film roll. You have to get off the film roll. But there are possibilities within the film roll to start smoothing out the film roll. For example, if you have no savings, well, you can't save $100 perhaps this week, but you certainly can save $20 this week. By taking that action, guys, you're smoothing out the film roll. And the beauty of this is, as Vadim Zeland says, first we harmonize with the other film roll. We practice, whether it be by robotic affirming that we taught in the last video, whether it be simply by getting into that state, whether it be by self-talk, whether it be by thinking about what we want. We practice being on that other film roll. And then actions will start being inspired to us. And Vadim Zeland says, then you imagine the next step. You can't try to bring in the full plan because you're not going to know the steps for the full plan because your mind is still, to a greater or lesser extent, limited by this film roll or the film rolls right by that film roll. I hope you understand me just a little bit. But you can always know the next step. This is what David Allen teaches us in GTD, and we made some videos about that in the early days of this channel. You can always visualize the next step, and of course, action is never required, but it is always inspired. And what you'll realize is that even if you feel like you don't want to take these small actions, if you take a small action, without making it so big that you overwhelm yourself, or without making it so small that it becomes worthless to do it, in your opinion, it feels worse not to take that action than it does to take that action. Therefore, by that better feeling, you know that that's within your vibrational wavelength. You know you're being pulled to that action. And in interiorism, all actions on the outer are pulling. We're not pushing the outer. We're taking action because we want to, because it feels good, and then the actions will unfold to get us to the next step. I hope you understand me just a little bit. That's why in law of attraction and interiorism, a little bit is a lot. And we can find this in the mathematical analogy between scalar and vector. Of course, scalar is just a straight linear line, right? It's like 1 times 2 equals 2, right? Vector is exponential growth. And then this can become 3-dimensional and so on and so forth. It becomes like a shape rather than simply like a line. I hope you understand me just a little bit. It's geometric growth. Interiorism allows you to go vector. You're not simply taking step by step by step. Rather, each step multiplies its significance and its consequences. It's like investing. And by the way, we're going to be talking a lot about investing in the course of these materials. Not so much today, but in the next few videos. It's part of your power pack to utilizing interiorism for getting off the prison grid and for becoming wealthy. So, with all that said, what is your first step to getting free, guys? And I want you to make a time frame for this that is not going to be too overwhelming, but that's also not going to be too long. Here's the first step. You're saved, and I'm going to make this very concrete, and anyone can do it, guys. You're saving $10,000. That's your first step before you do anything else. And I know for many of you, you have millions of dollars saved, and this seems like nothing. I put another 0 there, and this will apply. I know for many of you, it's hard to save $100. I know that because I was there. In my 20s, I couldn't save a penny, and in fact, I was in debt. It took me until my early 30s before I discovered what I'm going to share with you in this video, and then I very rapidly was able to save my first $10,000 and much more through investing, make that multiply, and so on and so forth. And we'll teach you how to do that here. But make it a time frame that you think is possible. Don't say that you're going to save $10,000 in 2 weeks if you don't have $100 in the bank. It's not going to happen, guys. Also, don't make it 3 years. You can easily save $10,000 within a year. Surely 6 months to a year. Make that your time frame now. Remember, this is simply a step to smooth out this film roll. While you're doing that, you're still in the state of the other film roll where you're making the amount that you want to make. Let's say it's $20,000 a month and you have hundreds of thousands in the bank. You're imagining that, but you're doing as Vadim Zeland said, also envisioning the first step. And your first step is to save $10,000. Of course, if you don't have any savings, your first step is to save $100. We're going to show you a methodology for doing that. My friends, in Asia, they're more in tune with saving money. In China and Japan. In fact, the latest statistics that I saw were people in Japan and China save 40% of their incomes, while people in the United States, I was surprised by this number, only save 5%. I was surprised because I thought that was a lot. I think many of us only save either nothing or we have negative savings because we're in debt. It's not a saving culture. So it's no wonder that a tool from the Japanese culture is what first helped me to save. And this is a beautiful tool, guys, because it brings to bear the right and left brain. It brings to bear mindfulness. It brings to bear harmonizing and getting into flow and state. And it also brings to bear, of course, good old-fashioned left brain ledgers. And the tool that I'm referring to is a great tool that I've been using for many years. It's called the Kakebo. and I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. Any Japanese viewers, please feel free to correct us. But the kakebo is a ledger that was invented in Japan, I believe, at the turn of the 20th century by a female journalist. So it was mainly for Japanese housewives who were in charge of the entire budget. But the beauty of it, and I'm going to post a link in the description, I just want to walk you through a few of the categories. This is what you're going to do. And I'd advise you, because depending on when you're watching this video, today's February 20th and March is starting. I'd advise you to start in March for the monthly phase of this and actually give this a full run in March. But I would advise you can start this in a few days on Sunday at 12 a.m. and actually start to track your expenses and start to ask yourself these questions, journal this. But you could also start it this very night at 12 a.m. Begin to track your purchases for today. Even you can have a certain amount of money that you want to save for today. But I just want to walk you through some of the categories. Using this, guys, using this power tool of the kakebo, you will be able to save $10,000. And then, of course, the next year, we're going to skyrocket that, or the next 6 months or whenever it will be. We're going to teach you how to invest it, and we're going to teach you how, of course, it's not going to take this long, guys, but you have to map it out to yourself this way just to have a reference. We're going to teach you how to be completely retired within 5 years, not having to lift a finger ever again. If you want to, you can. Of course, much sooner than that, you're going to be an independent business owner. You're going to be your own boss, and you're going to be free in your schedule. But I'm talking in 5 years, never having to lift a finger again. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or 30, you can do this. But anyway, I want to go through some of the categories because this is going to be your companion, guys. And this is basically depicted as the mindful budgeting tool. And I don't really like budgets, but you're going to see why this is so effective. So on the first line of this, and you can actually open the PDF and read it with me, it's asking your monthly income from all sources. Now, for some of you, this is going to be just one job. That's fine, because within the next few months, you're going to be getting more sources of income. But for now, just mark out whatever source that is. Then it gives you amount, then the total. Now, this takes your monthly fixed expenses, guys. Now, this is like credit card bills, this is rent, this is insurance. These are things that you have to pay every month, and they're more or less fixed. Your electric bill may be more or less fixed. Write those down, okay? Get the total for that. This is the basic raw material of this. Now you have your savings goal for the month. Now, the question you're asking yourself is, how much do you want to save this month? And really think about it. And for this month, make it as much as you can. Don't make it so small that it's negligible, but don't make it so huge that it's out of reach. So if you can save $200 next month, say my goal is to save $200. Then, of course, it asks here, what are you saving for? Now, for many of us, this is for the first segment of the $10,000 to be completely free. For some of you, it may be a car. For some of you, it may be another thing. You have your own unique reason. Write it and actually think about it, because this is the actual tool, the actual fuel that's going to actually make this journey very easy. Next, we have spending money. How much do you have to spend this month? And then it's just basically mathematical. Income minus expenses minus savings goal equals spending money. Then you divide that by 4 weeks, and then you have your weekly spending. It's very granular, guys. And the more granularity you have in this, I think the better at this point. And you're going to be tracking, you're going to be basically having your spending goal for each week. Now, here's where this gets fun and interesting. Do this at least for 1 month, even if it seems overwhelming. Get yourself a little notebook, and I want you to actually write this down if you can, because it's been proven in scientific studies that writing is a better correlate for what's going on in the brain than typing. So get a little notebook and write it down. That's what they do in these Asian countries. Now it says, what are your goals for this month, the spending goals? How will you achieve them? So what do you want to spend? What do you want to spend on food? If you're spending too much on food, maybe that's the primary aspect. What do you want to spend on clothes? What do you want to spend on transport? And then How will you achieve them? And really brainstorm as to how I'm going to actually make it happen this month and this week. Then you have your weekly budget, and I want you to write down every single purchase and indeed every single inflow of income that you have. You write it down, you write the day and the time. By the end of the month, guys, you're going to have a complete map of your spending and so on and so forth. Then we have a monthly review, and it asks you week 1, and you basically categorize your spending. You can do your own categories, but this is needs, wants, culture, and unplanned. And then you have basically an accounting ledger and a printout for your month. Every business does this, guys. If you want to be successful, start tracking, start counting, and start measuring, and then of course you'll bring your right brain to bear with that. So, how did you do this month? Spending money this month minus total spent this month equals money saved. Did you reach your goals? What are the ways to improve? So, everyone knows how to do this, guys. There's nothing new here. This is a budget. But this Kakebo tool is going to help you put it down mindfully. It's going to give you a framework, and it's going to help you implement interiorism, guys, which is basically the power of the right brain to getting to where you want to be. You'll also be meditating over this. And that's why Getting Wealthy, guys, there are a lot of great books out there, and I'd recommend that you read a lot of great books like The Richest Man in Babylon, like Robert Kiyosaki's books. They're all great. But what this channel is aiming to tie in for you is the aspects of interiorism. Is the aspect of the inner and how the inner basically draws to you the resources of the outer. And it never has to be about hard work. It never has to be about straining. It's about meditation. It's about ease. It's about following the natural flow of the universe. It's about following what's right for you, guys. Wealth is your birthright. We're going to teach you exactly how to do it on this channel, utilizing the principles of interiorism and good business principles. So this is the first step, guys. Save $10,000. How do I do that? Implement the Kakebo system. If you can save $20 this month and you have never saved money, or you haven't saved money for many months, you've done an excellent job. Start where you can. Take that first step. As Vadim Zeland said, put one foot in front of the other. This is going to multiply in an exponential fashion, guys, and you're going to show yourself your power. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm open to helping. I do have my coaching modality. You can email me and jump on a coaching call. I will put my email in the description. We will get you from where you are, no matter where you are, to where you want to be. Anyone can do this, guys. Doesn't matter how much you make. With much appreciation. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Help us get to 500 subscribers. And until very soon, we're going to be making a lot more interesting concrete videos this week for applied interiorism. Till very soon, this is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa bidding you a wonderful evening.